In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and merciful, honorable chair of the Chamber of Councillors, ladies and gentlemen, honorable MPs, ladies and gentlemen, the Parliament of the Kingdom of Morocco is holding a special session subsequent to the voting of the European Parliament on a recommendation that remains absurd. The constituents of the two chambers, bearing in mind the position of the European Parliament and the nature of its positions, are holding a meeting today in order to inquire about the misleading positions that this decision is taken. I give the floor first the National Alliance of Independence. Mr. Mohammed Ghayat from the National Union of the Gathering of the Independents is going to take the floor first.
السيدين الرئيسين
Honorable speakers, ladies and gentlemen, honorable member of the Parliament, the European Parliament held a session in the absence of the first party, which is the European Popular Party, which with its leadership and some of its members refused to participate in a process, the appearance of which claims to defend human rights and which seemed to hide in its depth a good number of allegations, and in order to beget what might be considered a surrealist position. They asked, for the members, they self-proclaimed they made a what looks like a trial, and well, here it was concerning a decision that was promulgated by the Parliament of Morocco. They want to fabricate a dark image of freedoms and rights, forgetting the rights of others, which are guaranteed by the law, on equal footing for everyone. Today, indeed, today is Morocco. Let's ask ourselves, is there any human rights violation in Morocco? This is a question I'm asking. But a veil which is hiding behind it a good number of positions that some enemies of the country are holding. Is it to that extent that Morocco has become alien, annoying? Is that to that extent that some countries around Morocco have become a good number of forces and powers have become respectful of Morocco and for its position? We shall not accept that our country becomes subject to negotiations. We shall not give up. We shall not change our position or approach, because we are convinced of the rightfulness of our causes. And if you are courageous enough, stop this kind of styles, and then you will find, as you always did, that Morocco is a country that respects its commitments and does not intervene nor breaks into. We don't have gas, we don't have petrol, in order to buy the conscience of some, but we have, on the other hand, a strong will, and we have a vision and a love for this country that has always stood. It stood for more than 12 centuries. And from this forum, I'm asking you to stop meddling with Morocco's business. Don't make of Morocco your official discourse recognizes the efforts of Morocco deployed to respect rights and the rule of law, and also the entrenchment of the democratic practices. On the other hand, you resort to practices. What shall we believe? Thank you very much. You have created friendship commissions with countries that you have no partnership with. And you have, on the other hand, you have given the floor to mercenaries who are not recognized by the United Nations, and you still claim to defend the rule of law. You open the floor for lobbies, of the gas lobbies, and you are, on the other hand, clogging the way for a constitutional institution. I believe, and this is another question I'm asking, has the cold, this smiting cold, has it replaced the human rights in your country? Thank you. Now we shall give the floor to the modernity and authenticity representative, Mr. Mohammed Tweety. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and merciful, Mr. Chairperson and honorable colleagues, on behalf of the Modernity and Authenticity Group, I would like to speak on behalf of my party and express our refusal of what has been said by members of the European Parliament. We consider that this is an intrusion upon what Morocco has been building. We shall be frank as should be, because we are linked to our colleagues from the European Parliament by a commitment and also by a commission. Morocco is a democracy partner, and we are telling you how possible is it that an institution which claims to be democratic and respects of law, how can you consider, how can you be insulting to our country and our institution? How can you claim that you are defending justice while aligning yourselves to the torturers? How can the Moroccan people, with its parties and organizations, how can the Moroccan people understand this double standard approach? This is a file that we have closed a long time ago, especially that we have gone through a process of reconciliations, while some regimes are still arresting opponents and human rights activists. We have, the state has exercised a good number of human rights violations against these people, and all these are ignored by the European Council, while attacking our country. On the other hand, we have not declared war against the European Union, and we have not done anything that made the European Union hold so many meetings, and also we have not done anything that we have always believed that the smell of gas and the smell of oil has blinded and has made, and we are saying, well, for those who Tamgharabit, which is Moroccanness, being Moroccan is be respectful of all the commitments that we have made, and all that happened will only make us stronger and more unified around the sacrosanct. We would like to draw the attention of the European Parliament to stop seeing and looking down upon Morocco. Morocco has changed. Morocco has changed. And for those who are concerned, you should adapt yourselves to the new changes. We are diversifying our partnerships with all the countries with whom we share the same principles and the same conceptions, especially in the economy, and we are also holding more and more partnerships with many African partners in a win-win situation. This is not seen with ease by some partners in Europe. What the European Parliament has done is nothing but a failing attempt at attaining the interests of the Sharifian Moroccan kingdom. But on the other hand, we shall hold strongly to the principles and spirits of the Moroccan European partnership. We shall hold and we shall also hold to our, territorial integrity. On the other hand, I would like to pay tribute to the Spanish left-wing parties who refused to support this, and also the head of the Spanish government who expressed his refusal to support, to attack and attain the integrity of Morocco. I would also like to pay tribute to the Popular Party who even boycotted this meeting. And thank you very much indeed for your attention. I would like to give the floor now to the Istiqlal Unity and Equality Party. Group, sorry. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and merciful, honorable members, I'm pleased on behalf of the Istiqlali Group for Unity and Equality. And I would like to bid a warm welcome to the representatives and the councillors of the two chambers. I would like here to underline the unity of the whole country, and this, of course, in the ambit of the anniversary, the 79th anniversary of Morocco, when it presented the document for independence that was handed in 79 years ago. We are astonished, we are even dumbfounded, concerning what has been said. A very fanatic campaign has been organized by the enemies of Morocco, and they even made a trial of a country which is considered as a leading country with a privileged position, and it is bound by the countries of Europe to Morocco in a good number of operations and things. The purpose of this campaign is to attack the rising tendency of Morocco. And we are here, we are respectful of liberties and rights as internationally recognized. We are a country which is defending its territorial integrity and which has been knowing a good number of recognition of the Moroccanness of the Sahara. Sahara is recognized as being Moroccan by a good number of even European countries. And the purpose behind this decision that has been taken by the European Parliament is to parasite the recognition of a good number of European countries who are now recognized. I shall not mention all the names. France, Italy, Germany, Spain have all recognized the Moroccanness of our Sahara. We condemn strongly all these attempts made by a number of countries that are waging a lost war in the first place, a lost war against the unity of this country. This will only make of the country a unified country, a country which is ready to defend its territorial integrity, and a country which is ready also to defend the principles of all the unity of the countries. We condemn this as being an interference with. We are an independent country, and our legislative institutions and judiciary institutions are independent. I mean, the claims that have been made concerning the non-respect of human rights in Morocco is nothing but a pack of lies. We are condemning, and that, unfortunately, we are, before countries that are attacking a number. We are, on the other hand, astonished that the European Parliament, we are astonished to see that the European countries and the European Union cannot respect a number of countries, even a number of citizens living on European territories. We cannot tolerate this, let alone what is taken. Morocco will remain faithful to the privileged relations binding the country to European countries on the basis of equality and mutual respect. And because we are convinced, because the multi-partite partnership will not fall prey to these provocative and cheap provocations. We shall now give the floor to the socialist group. Honorable chairs, honorable members of the two chambers of the Parliament, on behalf of the two socialist groups in the Chamber of Representatives and Chamber of Councillors, allow me first to address my sincerest thanks to the head of the Spanish government for his courageous position. Allow me, with your permission, Mr. Head of the Parliament, allow me to address myself to the European representative, European Parliament. In the light of the issuance of, you have decided to send to the Moroccan Parliament a copy. We would like to tell you that your message has been received. And now allow us to react to what you have sent. We are partners in the light of mutual respect and also in the light of mutual endeavor to protect the Moroccan and European integrities. We have been endeavoring to perfect and improve a good number of things that are in the European. We have, for example, created the Justice and Reconciliation Commissions, and this was crowned by the issuance of the Europe, the 2011 Constitution, which has accepted and even granted a constitutional status to a number of institutions. Morocco and Morocco's effort has been crowned by a number of international standards, and this was crowned by the visits of the special rapporteurs and special rapporteurs to visits to the Moroccan Parliament. And we have also been responsive and reacting to positively to all the European requests. We are astonished to see that you have ignored all this and you have changed to create an exception state. And in fact, this is of a political nature. You have politicized your positions. Allow us, in the two socialist groups, in the Chamber of Representatives and the Chamber of Councillors, we are asking you to become modest enough to stop playing the role of teacher before a disciple. You have problems with your constituency, with your problems. This is a special product. You are faced with problems that you need to see to and you need to find solutions for. If it's now, if you are, you are supposed to deal with the good number of problems that you look at what happened at the COVID. You have left a good number of solutions. You have let elderly die in hospitals without a sense of guilt. Some of you, unashamedly, you became mercenaries and also pirates of it. You have stopped giving us moral lessons. You have stopped considering yourselves as moral givers. It's you who vote for the sale of a number of arms that reap the souls of children and elderly. Stop. You have to be ashamed of your colonial past, especially your past and history, blood history that you have been spending, that you have spent in Africa. You should rather be ashamed of investigating under the pretext of freedom in the countries of North Africa. Especially, you have made the Arab Springs. You have made and converted a good number of stability countries to unstable countries. If we are reminding you, we are only reminding you of that you are self-contradicting yourselves. You are not be teachers of morals. And thank you very much, Mr. Chairperson. Now we give the floor to the representative of the Popular Movement Party. So for those who were not fully able to give their their speech, we shall include the rest of what you have been not able to say in the report. In the name of Allah, most compassionate and merciful, honorable representatives of the two chambers, our report today in a closed meeting without prior notice, our message is not destined to the European Parliament. It is a shout, a rest to the vivid European conscience, to ring the danger bell, and in order to draw attention, draw attention to the trap that a number of representatives have fallen prey to. We are before a badly written play. We are shouting on behalf of the Moroccan nation that has been living and still is. And in the light of the honesty, we need to make a flashback in order to awake the conscience of European. Remember, our sons, our children participated in the war against Nazism, and the Moroccan blood has been shed. And remember, the war against your enemies is a war that made of our family children without fathers and mothers without husbands. And remember, it's the same Morocco that defended the integrity of the European countries. Morocco is the one who built with its arms the post-war Europe. We have protected your countries, your citizens against terrorism. We don't ask for fostership. We are asking to be spared the looking down upon. We know the well, and we are it's gas interests and oil interests that have been called upon, and every time you want to renew the agriculture agreement, and we cannot accept your imposing conditions upon us. We shall not tolerate your jeopardy of a good number of principles that we have considered. We are not flawless. We admit that we are still making the way to perfection. But we shall not tolerate, on the other hand, that somebody should actually intervene with. It's nothing but words, right words. Is it coincidental that the Book of God should be burnt before the Parliament? Where is the Parliament of Europe? Not to condemn the Holy Quran. Where is your position concerning where are the Moroccans that are living under squalid conditions in the Tindouf camps? Why is it that you do not speak about that? Why is it? We are still having cases before the judiciary, and as has been said before, we shall not fall prey to provocation. We shall not fall in the mousetrap of rupture, because we still believe in the efficiency of a partnership, but a partnership that should be based on a number of principles. Morocco is a self-respecting country that has the right to diversify its partnerships. And before concluding, I would like to address my sincerest gratitude to our colleagues in the European Parliament who turned down the offer of defending false and spurious principles. We are before members of the Parliament. Thank you very much, because now we shall give the floor to the Constitutional Democratic Social Group. You have the floor, sir. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and merciful, may Allah's prayer be upon the noblest of messengers, honorable chairpersons, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable representatives and councillors. I am honored to take the floor today on behalf of the Constitutional Socio-Democratic Party group, in this session which is held regarding the positions that have been taken by the European Parliament, a session that was entitled The Conditions of the Journalists in Morocco. What drew our attention, our stupefaction, is the right of the European Parliament to impose, quote unquote, of course, its standards of freedom and democratic, while Morocco is now given as an example for the respect of right and the rule of law, while observing human rights in a system that gives full freedom to the judiciary of institution. Morocco is, and the Moroccan system is supported by the national press and by independent institution that has fully condemned it's an interference into the rights of Morocco, the principles of Morocco, and this has been made by all the institutions of the judiciary. Ladies and gentlemen, in the groups representing either the Chamber of Councillors or the Chamber of Representatives, we condemn any kind of interference, any kind of intrusion upon the principles that are sacrosanct for us. And because we are doing this in the light of our observance of all the agreements that Morocco has made, our respect of these institutions, of these principles, doesn't mean that we are under the fostership of any institution. We are asking the European Parliament to resort to honesty and also to European honesty and integrity, especially when we are speaking about the exercise of press, which is completely independent from what is taking place, while you turn a blind eye in the European Union to a good number. How can a mother, a woman, filing a complaint against the right of humans, how dare you defend the rapist while forgetting the rights of the raped? That's what we have. In the light of all these considerations, we consider that what has taken place in the European Parliament is a true violation of what is taking place. We are an honest country which is trying to defend the southern borders, the southern borders of Europe. We are trying to defend the European borders against illegal immigration, while turning a blind eye to our eastern neighbor and all the things it does. All the fabricated files that have been made against and filed against Morocco will not dissuade us and will not prevent us from all the things that we are doing to build partnerships with other partners. We shall defend stability, security, and territorial integrity, we are under the enlightened chairmanship and guidance of His Majesty. Now we shall give the floor to the Socialist and Progress and Socialism group. You have the floor, sir. Honorable chairpersons, honorable members of the Chamber of Representatives and Chamber of Councillors, the Socialism and Progress Group joins its voice to that of the national unanimity regarding what has been said, and also it condemns vividly the positions that have been taken by, and we are aware of the fact that those who are standing behind the decision are known for their animosity against Morocco and their endeavor to blemish the reputation and the image of the country. And to those and others, we say that Morocco of today is not the Morocco of yesterday. And we consider that human rights and the freedom of expression that unfortunately has been prologued by the European Union is nothing but a pretext that has been used by the European Union to actually to attack Morocco. And we were considering, unfortunately, some of these have been considered as friends of the country. It's a pity that all this has been said. We are now faced with a tendency to attack Morocco while we are bound with the partnership agreements. It's a position which is not well balanced because it has not recalled the former positions by the European Union when this latter had considered that Morocco is the country which is leading the region where it is as far as human rights and democracy are concerned. This is something that the European Union has ignored completely, as though the European Union were speaking about another country, not Morocco. This strange change and mutation has not taken into consideration the strategic role of our country, especially in its relation with other southern Mediterranean coast. In our group, we consider and confirm that our Morocco will stand firmly to face all the positions, and it will continue its position, it will continue its already expressed message under the guidance of His Majesty and in the light of all the in the light of all the commitments. Our institution has not reached perfection yet, but we are proud of all the achievements we have made so far. Indeed, as Moroccans, we know that and we are aware of what we have. We are aware of flaws, of our flaws and defects, but we shall carry on and we shall carry on our march towards further positions, toward further achievements. And we consider that the strength of our country lies in the strength of its internal front and its determination to hasten the modernity and reform process, economy, democracy, society-wise, and as is bidden, shall we have folded some files and closed some files that files concerning some of the positions adopted by our enemies. This is the best answer. We shall simply ignore. We are a country that lights its way on its own, and it is walking, marching firmly towards the edification of democracy, towards equality. We shall not surrender to all those who are provoking us under some pretext. And thank you very much. we shall give the floor to the group of Justice and Development. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and merciful, and may His prayer be upon the Prophet. On behalf of the Justice and Development Group, I'm honored to participate in this common session concerning this meeting. That the main reason for which it has been held is to face all the attempts that have been waged so far against the achievements of our country. It is a process for a democratic building of and a very it is of course targeted by the enemies of this country, those who are acting with the colonial mentality. What happened exactly? In 2000 we have the Euro-Mediterranean Agreement. In 2003 we have signed the advanced positions and all the agreements that we have signed. Even the latest report of 2022, it's normal. What happened is that this process of the country's progress has become alien, has become something that many people look down upon. This process has been followed closely and watched. Has been even watched. Our football team has made some achievements. It's a football achievement, however, it speaks the values and and principles, and it was watched by, we have defended values that were all expressed through the holding of the Palestinian flag. And this was seen by the political leaders of Europe and political leaders in our country. There are those who considered, they dared burning the Holy Quran in Sweden in the name of the freedom of expression. And this is something we strongly condemn. This is an occasion, this is an occasion to express our party's convictions. And in that light, we also condemn the European Parliament, and under any pretext we shall condemn this position. It's a position that our party refuses and rejects. We reject that anybody should dictate to us how we should behave. Our position and our party's position refuses any intervention whatsoever, and it is the expression of a responsible, independent party. In the same way that refuse strongly this colonial fostership today, we still condemn. We are asking that we should be considered and dealt with in the light of territorial integrity. We still underline the importance of the sacred unity of our territorial integrity. On the other hand, we ask that all the problems be solved in the light of the Constitution and in the light of national. We don't need anyone to intervene, in order to tell us how we should react and act. Ladies and gentlemen, we should like to draw attention that the Parliament, the European Parliament, has become a means by dint of which some personal interests and special interests are being negotiated. I mean, this, of course, has become a source of trouble and parasite for the march of the country, Morocco. And many things are now being used and for which the parliament is being now exploited. Morocco is a defender of human rights, and now, unfortunately, all this is being ignored by mercantile and close, narrow-minded interests by the European partners. And this, we consider that this is a deviation, and we condemn strongly, and we shall even work strongly in not only in here but also in the European Union. Thank you very much. Now we give the floor to the General Workers Union in Morocco. You have the floor, sir. Madam. In the name of Allah, most compassionate and merciful, Honorable Sir, we express our position and refusal that has been, concerning the voting of the decision that has been made. We shall not accept that this should jeopardize our position, especially concerning the issuance of the kingdom concerning the files, and also our overture to all the international agreements and the international. We shall not yield to all the attempts that have been made regarding the attempts that have been waged. We are now, we are not astonished before these institutions that are sometimes adopting double standards in order to deal with the Moroccan human rights. We cannot accept this, and we shall only face it with condemnation. On that position, the General Union of Moroccan Workers considers that this is a wrong step, a stab at the back by a trustful partner, and which we have always considered as a good example of democratic development. And on that ground, we consider that these positions do not consider, and we should consider that this will not jeopardize the Moroccan justice which we support today. We consider that this is not to be actually, the most prominent, the most rhetorical reaction to all these. We are now becoming a territorial and regional power which is ailing a good number of positions, good number of institutions. The Moroccan state, ladies and gentlemen, which is carrying a considerable heritage concerning its stability and its territorial integrity, and which the colonial powers have been unable to to destabilize. We are now concerned. We are faced with the superiority complex that the other European partners have expressed. The lady is reading a Quranic verse. Now, we value the report and the declaration issued by the Arab Parliament and also the National Press Council, and while refusing and rejecting all that has been said about Morocco, and which is, of course, aiming at many of our institutions. And we are now, the Moroccan constitution has now adopted the complete independence, and I'm underlining the word independence, of this institution. Now I would like to give the floor to the CGRM, which is the General Confederation of Enterprises of Morocco. You have the floor. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and merciful, and may His prayer be upon the Prophet, his kith and kings. Honorable Chairperson, honorable MPs, on behalf of the General Union of the Moroccan Enterprises, would like to express our refusal and disdain concerning what has been issued by the European Parliament. The so-called Decision 2506 issued by the European Parliament, we consider this as an attack against the integrity of the Moroccan land. And I would like to speak, by, as a parliament member, defending the values of her country, and also as the head of the foreign affairs and also national defense and at the Chamber of Councillors. I'm wondering about the timing of this decision. While Morocco is undergoing a good number of reforms which are internationally welcomed. And finally, I'm speaking as a mother of a son, and I'm speaking as a mother and as a woman of a young girl, and I will not keep silence before the victims of violation, victims of rape. I'm and they are asking us, do they like us to throw a 150-page report and believe the Moroccan government? In return of that, would you like us to throw a 500-page report in order to please you? And we, the same parliamentarians who have voted against Morocco, against our Morocco, they are the same who submitted the report in 2019 under the pretext that they should not politicize human rights. I'm asking the same parliamentarians, and they believe in the efficiency of the justice of their country. And here we are having full trust of also we are not putting into question the integrity of our system, judicial system. The European Parliament attacked Morocco while ignoring the rights of the raped women, while condemning the crimes of rape. The Moroccan woman and the African woman doesn't have any right to have the right to a fair trial, and this is what made us to wonder whether the the lobbies that have made this mistake on, I mean, against strategic partners. And history will answer this question. And thank you very much. And now we shall give the floor to the Moroccan Union of Labor. Honorable chairpersons, brothers and sisters, representatives of the Moroccan nations with its two chambers, allow me first to address myself to the European Union Parliament and tell the European Parliament that it's not possible, whether in Morocco or outside Morocco, to intervene and also to put into question the role of the Moroccan Union of Labor. The union was not just founded on pure claims of workers, because the colonial power led to a conflict between two civilizations in the time of occupation. We were at that time, since its creation, the union was created with Morocco and in the same path, while undertaking and it's still working for the interests of them. And in the name of the Secretary General, our Secretary General faced all the plots and also all the, and they also faced an item that was put in the agenda in Brussels, and it was an aimless and failing attempt to jeopardize the reputation of our country. What is for sure is that Morocco is in its Sahara and the Sahara is in its Morocco. Let all the foreign powers that this is a conviction deeply entrenched in the minds of all Moroccans. Why should you? What is the purpose behind this provocation? It's not innocent. It's not innocent that the enemies of our territorial integrity should stand against that. What I can say is that this plot smells gas and oil. Morocco is not betting only on the traditional partners. Today, it's also playing with other strategic partners, and this, of course, makes of Morocco a territorial partner, but also it has created competition. It's become competing, and it's now competing rather with the former European actors. Today, they were not able to have the same achievements to make them, and we were able to play in the World Cup. Morocco today is playing fully its role as equal, and unfortunately, many European operators, instead of condemning the shameful camps of Tindouf, they are now attacking the Moroccan territory and the Moroccan role which is being played economically, socially, and politically. We are fully confident of our position, and we are fully confident that the honest partners will not forsake us, and let's not acquiesce to, unfortunately, some positions that some European or former European partners have adopted. And we are not colluding with the same partners. And finally, it's a cry that we are now addressing to all those who are intent on intervening with our interest. On the other hand, we are calling the international labor, and we are asking also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to constitute a force to face all those who are standing in the way of the interests of the country. Now we shall give the floor to the Democratic Confederation of Labor. In the name of Allah, most compassionate and merciful, honorable chairs, the group of the Democratic Confederation of Labor has been and will always be defending the national integrity and territoriality. We shall not allow anyone to intervene with our territorial unity. This we consider as a force which is jeopardizing, and we cannot tolerate the interference of some of the, on the same basis, we express our refusal and rejection of the European position, regardless of its content, as we did before. The position and the decision of the European, report, and its timing is raising our suspicion. Why is it? So we have the issues and the stories of the arrests and arbitrary detention are issues that we have always been asking before. So while we are asking for the liberation of those who have been arrested and who are active, in the same way that we are defending human rights in this country, we equally ask and demand that our national sovereignty is nothing. It will start with the true and genuine democracy, and we are asking for this because this is the sole guarantor that will build a strong Morocco of tomorrow. And also this is asking us to raise questions, especially concerning the number of voters and those who have voted for the decision rather than against. And thank you very much. So now we give the floor to the group of Social Equality and Justice. In the name of Allah, most compassionate and merciful, and may prayer be upon the prophets and his kith and kins. Honorable chairs, first of all, we would like to pay tribute to the holding of this meeting because the purpose is to unmask the maneuvers organized by some enemies of Morocco. Morocco is an ancient country that has built itself on the values of mutual respect and on the basis of moral and civilizational values, not on whims, circumstantial whims. And concerning these strange tendencies and also the daring of some countries to intervene with with the affairs of Morocco, we are not astonished to express our. This, of course, led to political extremism and all this and all that has accompanied these phenomena, and also the human rights system. And this, of course, led to some scary positions and also to the declaring of, that is self-seclusion. And in this respect, it's necessary for us to condemn all the practices of spiritual security, especially the feelings repeated that have been expressed, and especially that this has manifested itself in the burning of the Holy Quran, the attack of mosques, and also the venues where religious practices are being exercised, and also all the other practices that speak the deviation, the sound sidetracking of it. We don't need moral lessons or democratic lessons from anyone, because under the enlightened guardianship and leadership of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, our country has expressed its choice. Thank you very much. The floor is now to Mr. Raouf Abdullawi Mana. You have the floor, sir. Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Chairperson of the House of Councillors, allow me to express our condemnation of the position and the decision issued out by the European Parliament. And we would like also to condemn strongly this position, because the purpose is to exercise pressure on Morocco while, under the pretext of democracy, it is a decision which is intervening within the integrity and the independence of the country. While we are expressing our astonishment before the conditions lived and undergone by the Tindouf camp detainees, while also we are leading, and undergoing some changes that have astonished the whole international community. We are now under the guidance and the leadership of His Majesty. Morocco is convinced of its choices, its decisions, and this, of course, in the light of the leadership of His Majesty Mohammed VI. May Allah protect him. We would like to express our sincere gratitude toward the Arab Parliament, and would like to remind everyone that these vile plots that have been made against Morocco will only further and strengthen the unity of Morocco and the Moroccan citizenship under the guidance of His Majesty. Now we shall give the floor to Mr. Khalid Sati. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate and merciful. Honorable chairpersons of the two chambers, honorable representatives, I'm honored to take the floor on behalf of the National Union of Labor in the light of this co-organized session. We would like to say that Morocco is not a pupil to receive moral lessons from anyone. We are a country that has made great steps by creating first the Justice and Reconciliation Authority, and this led to the adoption of the new constitution. We refuse that the independence of our judiciary system be jeopardized, and this has been consolidated by the 2016 constitution. The European maneuvers have been politicized and we have been suffering. We would like to pay tribute to a number of European MPs who refused to make of the European Parliament a mere means that is just a means of extortion that is being exercised. We are asking for a true partnership with the European partners. We have been exposed to a good number of extortion. We would like, on the other hand, to pay tribute to the Arab Parliament, and we would like to ask the European partner to pay close attention to what is being made within the European Parliament. And recently we have this more than 1.5 billion Muslims have been victims of the humiliating action of burning the Holy Quran, let alone the ill treatment of some illegal clandestine immigrants. Honorable MPs and councillors, we in the left wing Democratic Federation, we consider that the integrity of and the sovereignty of any state is by agreeing and also adopting the holy principles of democracy. And on this occasion, we would like to ask for the release of all the political prisoners and also reconsider the Moroccan diplomacy in order to clean the atmosphere and this is how we can face any kind of blood faced with. And thank you very much. We give the floor to Ms. Nabila Munib. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the United Socialist Group, we would like to discuss the decision taken by the European Parliament to condemn. We would like first we are an independent and sovereign country. We can only condemn, the orders that we shall receive from anyone. But on the other hand, we have to pay, also attention to we have to actually take into account the partnership. We are not here to accept any kind of we are not expecting moral lessons to anyone, because time has come is concerning general amnesty and also the application of the decisions taken by the reconciliation and justice and conciliation authority in order to strengthen our national unity. And also, thank you very much. Now, with your permission, we would like to read the subsequent to the positions expressed by the European Parliament. The Moroccan Parliament, with its two chambers, held a meeting, and in which all the representatives of the nation have expressed their position. And the Moroccan Parliament issued the following the Moroccan Parliament condemns strongly with its two chambers, the campaign, defamating campaign, especially with the voting of the decision that was issued on the 19th of December. Morocco's parliament expresses its astonishment concerning the position that was held by the legislative institutions by the European organization. And Morocco's parliament is expressing its astonishment towards the positions adopted against Morocco, especially the misleading campaign of Morocco. And also, Morocco is, of course, doing everything to defend some international standards and values. It is also an institution which is defending a good number. And before this deviation from an institution which is expected to make a distinction between facts and non-facts, and which is supposed to defend also the working of the interests and the defense of the interests of partners, the Moroccan parliament expressing the following. The Moroccan parliament is condemning strongly all attempts at destabilizing this country and these relations that are built on mutual interests and mutual respect. And it considers the recommendation made by the European Parliament as an excess, again, and also an entrenchment upon an encroachment upon the sacred institutions. It also refuses to receive moral lessons from any parties, whatever the quality of relations binding them to the kingdom. The Moroccan parliament expresses its disappointment towards this negative position. And also it expresses its astonishment and also its positions, especially expressed by some political groups that are, especially from a Moroccan country which is considered by a good number of Moroccan parliamentarians as a good partner of the country. The Kingdom of Morocco's parliament doesn't need to reinstate and reconfirm its attachment and respect for human rights. The Kingdom of Morocco is characterized by the dynamics of its civil society and also the action of its institutions, whether concerning the freedom of individuals or groups, let alone its commitment to the collective respect of rights, and also the entrenchment of the respect of the rule of law in the light of multipartism. The Moroccan parliament reminds everyone that the freedom of expression is an expression to be controlled and watched over by the government, by the parliament, and it also repeats its competence as a legislation body, and also the observance of all the articles and also the principles of human rights as dictated in the constitution, while also accepting the universal aspect of these rights. The Moroccan parliament reminds and recalls that it is an active member of international institutions. And also reminding everyone that Morocco is also part of part of a good number of institutions. It still reminds everyone its astonishment that Morocco has never allowed itself to interfere with any other countries. Morocco has always been a space of communication and cooperation. It also has hosted a number of meetings, topical meetings, whether internationally, regionally, or continentally, and concerning some basic issues like terrorism, defending peace, the respect of the environment, the integration of youth, equality between men and women. And it considers that a number of parliamentary projects and draft texts are now subjects of discussion in the light of the European Parliament. Parliamentary coordination in many fields has now posed the issue of trust and whether or not the European Parliament is still a trustful partner of the the Moroccan partner. The Moroccan partner, the Parliament also considers that the issue of internal law is nothing but a national law, and it is not related to the exercise of journalism, and it is concerning that is human trafficking, sexual rape, and also the exploitation of handicapped people, which are all crimes condemned by all the justice systems of the world. And with respect to that, the Moroccan parliament reinforces and repeats the necessity to observe the governance, and also unfortunately the European Parliament has broken this link linking the Moroccan to the European Parliament, and it also has swept away all the trust that has been the base of all the relations, while we were expecting to further develop the cooperation and also the horizons of cooperation between the two institutions and the defense of mutual interests of our peoples. The Moroccan Parliament considers that the European Parliament's recommendation has left away and swept away all the all the issues that were going to constitute the base for mutual respect and mutual dialogue. And this has emptied, unfortunately, all the contents of the mutual bilateral and multilateral agreements that have been elaborated by the European Common Commission of Parliaments, which has shown, in a concrete manner, all the importance of the relations of binding the Moroccan to the European Parliament. The Moroccan Parliament is asking and calling the European parliamentary forces to make abstraction of what is not parliamentary, and also it's asking and calling the European Union and the European Parliament, to become more objective towards the European. And as of this day, the Moroccan Parliament decided to revisit the relations binding this institution to the European Parliament, revisiting, rethinking its relation to the European Parliament, and also the decision to take, that is also to inform the chairmanship of this European Parliament, and supported by all the interventions that have been spoken during this meeting, informing the European Parliament concerning this decision and also all the other decisions that will ensue. Thank you very much. The session has been closed. Thank you very much.